Chapter 6561. Charlie's words, "It's not protection but production," made the guests around who were watching the excitement nod their heads involuntarily. It is natural to protect the legitimate rights and interests of a certain group, using various subtle propaganda to greatly increase the number of this group. It immediately changes the taste. And Tawana has always been a solid supporter of the latter. And it is not an exaggeration to say that she is the vanguard. In the past, everyone thought that she was just very concerned about this group. But now, looking at the problem from another angle, she is indeed fanning the flames and trying to make this group bigger and bigger. It is difficult to say what her intention is. Even Mitsui Yoshitoka couldn't help but touch his chin at this time, with a serious look on his face. At this moment, his wife couldn't help but ask his daughter, "Mitsui Shinmai, can you really bypass your guardians to perform gender-changing surgery on minors abroad?" Mitsui Shinmai thought for a while and whispered, "Oh, I have heard some similar news. Some states in the United States should have laws in this regard." Mitsui Shinmai's mother couldn't help but exclaimed, "What law can allow such a thing to happen? Minors are still minors. They don't have full behavioral capacity. Major matters must be checked by their guardians. They can actually bypass their guardians. Even if minors really want to do that kind of surgery, they can wait until they are adults to decide. What is the motive for making such a major and irreversible decision for a child in such a hurry? It's simply unreasonable." Mitsui Shinmai also shook her head in confusion and said, "I don't quite understand what their motives are for doing this. But you are right, what Mr. Wade said does seem to make more sense. For such a major matter, the parties involved should be allowed to make decisions after they have full capacity for behavior, rather than hastily inducing them to make decisions and put them into action." Mitsui Shinmai's mother said angrily, "An idol who doesn't do her job well and publicly supports these things every day, I personally can't understand it. I think it is necessary to say it to her. We have no right to control how she promotes in her own country. And we are not qualified to ask about it. But in Japan, in Tokyo, and at performances held by the Mitsui family, she must not promote those things. If the Japanese teenagers present today are influenced by her and make decisions that they will regret for the rest of their lives, then our Mitsui family is also responsible." Mitsui Shinmai hesitated and said, "I'll find a chance to talk to her later." Mitsui Shinmai's mother said in a slightly blaming tone, "Shinmai, you are the eldest daughter of the Mitsui family. You must pay attention to your influence. It is best not to get too close to certain people in public. Your father and I have never stood on the side of any group over the years. And we have tried not to let any movement have anything to do with us. This is because there are too many variables in the world. We can keep ourselves clean, but the people around us may not be able to do so. Many similar things have been exposed in the United States in the past 2 years. Many hypocritical social elites are actually evil devils behind the scenes. Once you accidentally get close to some devils, once this devil is exposed, you will inevitably be affected, and if you are affected, the Mitsui family will also be affected." Mitsui Shinmai lowered her head in shame and said, "What Ogason criticized is true. I will pay more attention in the future and will not have too much contact with public figures." At this time, Trevor did not expect the other party to refute him from this angle, and he became speechless all of a sudden. While Tawana on the side was obviously a little flustered. Seeing that Trevor was speechless, Tawana could only bite the bullet and say, "Mr. Wade, I think this may be the gap between Eastern and Western cultures. In the United States, no one will hold the same point of view as you." When she said this, she knew in her heart that her defense was very pale. So she wanted to quickly end the conversation with Charlie, and then said, "Mr. Wade, actually we don't need to argue about this. On this matter, you have your opinion and I have mine. I support LGBT, and whether you support it is your freedom. If you don't support it, I have no right to force you to support it. I think we should not continue the discussion. What do you think? Tavanna was already regretting it at this time. She had just received verbal support from Claire and Elsa and had the video recorded by Trevor. In fact, it was enough for her. She shouldn't have provoked Charlie and tried to convince him, but ended up losing face in front of so many people. Seeing that Tavanna took the initiative to call a truce, Mitsui Yoshitoka on the side also quickly acted as a peacemaker and said with a smile, "The debate between the two of you just now really opened my eyes. But the party before today's performance is tight. I think the two of you should not continue to discuss this matter. I wonder what Mr. Wade thinks?" Charlie shrugged and smiled indifferently, saying, "The guest should follow the host's wishes. Since Mr. Mitsui said so, then I, the guest, naturally have no objection."